Thank you, Jerry, for welcoming. Thank you for welcoming. Can't even say it. I'm not used to APEC meetings starting at 8:30 in the morning, so thank you, Jerry, for welcoming us all to Iloilo City, and congratulations to the Philippines on an extremely successful host year. All of us in this room today owe the Philippines a great debt of gratitude for placing small and medium-sized enterprises at the heart of APEC's work. Historically, there has been much said about the tremendous role SMEs play in sustainable economic growth within the APEC region. But this is the first time that action-forcing plans and policies have materialized in a concrete way that will revolutionize APEC. The heightened cross-fora collaboration to increase SME opportunities in regional and global trade has been extensive, with more extensive collaboration to come in the future. The expansion of our work to include a greater focus on microenterprises is a task we welcome, and we hope that through the digital work that is forthcoming, we can set a solid platform for microenterprises to share in the benefits of globalized trade. We have continued to ensure that women and young entrepreneurs are prominently featured in our programmatic work, as they play a significant role in each of our economies, and frankly, they are the key to our future success. Women have an uncanny way of making certain that their business plans and the execution of their goals are precise and successful. And young entrepreneurs are the innovators, the movers and shakers of new ideas and new technologies. Young entrepreneurs represent the transformational change that will propel APEC economic growth forward. This year, the SME work group underwent an assessment by an independent assessor who reviewed our strategic plan, our programmatic work, and our linkages with other APEC working groups. He also observed us in action in Atlanta before concluding his report. This assessment will help us make mid-course corrections as appropriate, which is why I left time in our agenda to hold a substantive discussion on this issue. Our open and thoughtful dialogue, and I truly hope that delegates are prepared to provide meaningful input during that session, can be captured in our next four-year strategic work plan that we will be discussing tomorrow morning. As SME delegates that work directly for and with SMEs in your respective economies, I need to hear from you so that I can support you in your endeavors. If you need additional information from other APEC working groups, please say so. And if you have good ideas on how to capture impact on our work, don't hesitate to put your ideas on the table. In other words, I need to hear what is working for you and what needs to change so that I can help facilitate the change that you need. This year, the SME working group had to substantially raise its game, and I congratulate all of you for rising to the occasion as a team. Each of your economies contributed significantly to our success, and I look forward to hearing about your workshops and outcomes. I want to keep my remarks short this morning as we have a great deal to discuss in the next day and a half. I'd like us to stay on schedule by using our time efficiently and wisely. Before I close, I want to recognize a few individuals that made extraordinary efforts to propel our work forward this year. I first want to thank Secretary Maglela and her team, particularly Cynthia De La Cruz, for her monumental contributions to the Atlanta experience, as she worked endless hours with Lynn Costa on the global supply chain event, and I know she has done the same in organizing Iloilo City. I also want to thank Fong, our SME Working Group Program Director, for her exemplary knowledge of the APEC process, and honestly, keeping ahead of me at all times. And quite honestly, if Fong hadn't been as diligent as she is, I'm not quite sure where we'd be. I'd probably still be having coffee at 9 o'clock. She has been invaluable to our success this year, and I think we all owe her a debt of gratitude. I also want to thank my own team, Lynn Costa, Daniel Miller, and Bruce Harsh, who was here as a temporary SME delegate, for organizing the 40th SME Working Group meeting in Atlanta and the adjacent supply chain workshops and events. I'd like to close with a quote from Steve Jobs, who inherently understood the essence of innovative ideas and transformational change, which is the heart and soul of the SMEs we collectively represent. Mr. Jobs said, "Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius, because the ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do it." Thank you.